Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ball shot. Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to Ball Chat Halftime Show. I think this is the official name. Ball Chat Halftime Show. Yo, I think we actually need to find out if there's any other halftime show or any show entitled Halftime.
Well, there have a lot of shows out there named Halftime. We just have the one named Ball Chat.
Welcome to Ball Chat Halftime Call-In Show, a show where we give the show give listeners a chance to call in. I am Benton along with Junior. Wagwan family, how you stay?
Well, I'm here and I'm good. Sometimes I have to take it easy for the trot, you know?
Yeah. I hope you're taking it easy, family. Taking it easy. Have to take it easy in Babylon.
Yep.
Yes. You know, and try to escape Babylon simultaneously. Halftime call-in show, football family. The numbers are 770-696-6040 if you want to call in. On the deck, today we have English Premier League, Milan Derby, Leon Bailey. All these discussions around Leon Bailey potentially move, and Marcus Rashford, bag of things to discuss. So the calling number are 770, two calling numbers. You have 770-696-6040, and the WhatsApp number is 352-745-0992. I guess we have to start with this Premier League title. I mean, we know it was inevitable. We'll get to the Champions League race in a second in the EPL, but Arsenal drew 2-2 with Crystal Palace today, and I mean, I think at some point, might as well Arsenal just lose the football game and make him and win the title. I'm done with it.
I mean, we can look at it that way if we want to be cynical. If you don't want to be cynical, give Crystal Palace, give them credit because they came from behind twice when they could have easily pack up shop. They're not really playing for much right now, right? It's not like they're playing for a European spot. So I think, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You said it's not like they're playing for much. And I want to clarify. I get my curious mind. Does professional athletes really start tank and start transition to summer? I mean, obviously they are human beings, but in this competitive space, do they? At what stage of the season, if it does happen, where players start say, "Yo, this is it," In your assessment, if it does happen.
The second that they realize that they have accomplished what their goals.
And in the landscape of a transfer market where a man can move on and out of favor pretty easily, players are willing to take that risk.
Well, so then it depends. It depends on your situation. So take Eze, for example. Eze today earns some money. If there's somebody in the market for an attacking winger, that's where all of football is right now, I would say Eze showed his class today against Champions League semi-finalists.
But
right?
you don't see Eze going anywhere, right?
Of course I see him. Well, it will be difficult to move him because it will require an offer that Crystal Palace cannot refuse. But we'll never say never. I mean, maybe 18 million can get Eze out of Crystal Palace. 80 million can get him out of Crystal Palace.
Isn't Eze $100 million baller?
I think the market has been reset since Mbappe. But we will know coming up at this summer, but I don't think we're going to have a lot of 100 million ballers. I think we're going to have ballers like Eze. I don't even know. To answer your question, no. For what the market was, I don't think Eze is 100 million. But I can foresee a transfer value of like 60 with escalators. And some of the escalators are easily attainable. Like if you play 60% of your games, you get 10 million next year. If you score 5 goals over the next 3 seasons, or over the next 2 seasons, you get an extra 5 million 2 years from now. So they spread out the way how the money is going to be spent. And that will go with FFP rules, because you're not necessarily spending 100 million right now. You're spending 60 and you're spending 40 over the next 3 years or whatever it is. So I think that's where that's where we're going with the transfer market.
Yep. Family Ball Chat halftime show, call in halftime show where listeners can call in, or if you have a comments, drop them in. We had one caller last week, so let's see if we can double that number this week. And so 2 callers, and I guess if we give away a jersey, the phone line are gonna blaze, but we're not giving out no jersey, brother.
We're close though. We're close. We are 24 subscribers away on YouTube.
And we're not giving a jersey because tariff. I beat the jersey them out of China right now.
Who said it's coming from out of China? Who said that? Where you get your information from, sir? Oh, no, Benton, fix up your speech. Our jerseys come straight from the great state of Utah.
The great state of Utah. My apologies. So,
great state of Montana.
And made in America jersey.
Oh my God, it's made in the heartland of America.
Yes. That is what I love to hear. That's what
they love to hear. They want to listen right now.
Calling time, family. Calling number is 770-696-6040. You can call in also on WhatsApp 352-745-0992. Regarding the EPL, family, Liverpool, of course, just needs a point from here on in. But probably a bit of credit to Arsenal for still competing, right? They went out and they were competitive, got some valuable minutes for man like Raheem Sterling, because of course Arsenal has their focus right now on the Champions League, and the more of those players that can get into shape and into valuable minutes to contribute later on in the Champions League, that's essential, right? And I'm focusing on Sterling there.
Because I don't know, you think Sterling playing next week? No. So, but yeah, and there's the whole Russ versus rest debate that will be answered over the next couple of weeks, right? 7 days from now, we're going to have a different discussion. A week from now, we're going to have a different discussion, and we're going to point to certain events and say, this is the reason why blah, 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 right? And there's no right or wrong, unfortunately, for these coaches. Because you have some coaches out there that's going to say, no, we're not resting the players. Want everybody for players a regular season, play it like it's regular season. Yes, we're going to be mindful of injuries, but we can't risk having a player fall off form, right? What's the right approach? I don't know. I mean, and there is no right or wrong. The right approach is always determined at the end of the game. And if you win, your approach was right. If you lose, brother, dog, you have your supper when them done deal with you.
Regarding the big topic in the English Premier League now, it's all about the and of course Um, Liverpool plays Spurs coming up this weekend, and we'll keep a close eye on that game. Liverpool fans might even decide to roll out to one of those Liverpool bars close by, just for the vibes. But the main topic in the Premier League is all about the Champions League spots, and two big games this week. Spurs versus Nottingham Forest. Forest won that game 2-1, and Man City, big 2-1 victory over Aston Villa. We'll take a look at the table in a second, family, but your thoughts on these two football games and the lay of the land and the landscape of things coming out of these two football games, and as the race gets even hotter for Champions League spot.
Yeah, I was planning to tease the Arsenal fans first of all and say, it's not sewed up yet, right? But it's done sewed up. There are six points ahead of Man City and have a far superior goal difference. So Man City cannot overtake them. So we know the top two spots is already locked and loaded. The rest though is where football is going to be nice over the next couple of weeks. And one thing that I like the most though is that each team is going to have an opportunity to earn the Champions League spot. You're not going to have none of these teams are going to slip, fall, and back in and sneak them way in. And we're not going to be able to say, Team X was lucky because of the way how the schedule play out. No.
You have to earn it.
Themselves have to earn it. I love that. That is almost like the schedule makers knew what the hell was going to happen.
I mean, it really kind of just worked out perfectly for the English Premier League schedule makers. But if you rewind the clock in the summer, no one had Nottingham Forest nowhere near this part of the table. But the mere fact that they're this part of the table, and we remind listeners about Nottingham Forest schedule here in a few minutes, it just adds to that entertainment of this league. I mean, no wonder it's a highly coveted product for advertisers and TV rights holders.
Yeah.
But regarding this game, I mean, the Monday game, 2-1 Forest. I mean, Spurs, could have scored a couple goals. There was a save by the I can't remember the Forest defender who pretty much cleared that ball. I think it was off the corner kick where Kulusevski flicked the ball over the goalkeeper. And I had goal all day on that one, but what a save by the defender. And I guess it just highlights Nottingham Forest all hands on deck commitment. Nottingham Forest players and really thinks that they belong in the Champions League. And they're playing like it. So some people, when you mention you're not going to trip or fall into this position, right? Right. There are some people some teams get into this position and like, we get a little bit shaky, right? Get a little bit scared, but Nottingham Forest is like, you're going to have to take this from us. And of course, we've seen games in the past where they drop the soap, aka they lose a game here or there, or they had a bad day. But this was a game yesterday, I thought, they're battling,
Yeah, and did not. They're winning their way because if Nottingham Forest make it to the Champions League, they won't last long. They cannot play in the Champions League the way they played over the last couple of weeks in the Premier League. They have to get better and they have to get a stronger identity. Because like you rightfully say, Tottenham could have scored, should have scored. They played against Manchester United and barely beat them. It took Ilanga breaking away off a corner kick from Manchester United to score the one goal, and then the rest of the game, it looked like not all-time Manchester United, but looked like Manchester United was the better team trying to chase down a team that scored a one-lucky goal when the table doesn't dictate that. And I think there was a little bit of that in the Tottenham game as well. So they're not lucky because that's how they've played the whole year. And they have perfected that style. But they are teetering on disaster. When you are this close, you're this close to the Champions League, you know. That's why I said Sunday, or a couple shows back, if I was to pick a team not to make the Champions League, it's them. Because they are just flirting with disaster. You're supposed to beat Tottenham and beat them. Tottenham don't care about football until next Thursday. They don't care about no other game. But yet they were in the game against Nottingham Forest. That should be a red flag. So we'll see how it shakes out.
And in the other encounter that we watched closely, Aston Villa versus Man City, I think Unai Emery is still hitting his head like, how did we lose that football game? How did we lose that football game? I mean, gut-wrenching defeat for Aston Villa in 94th minute goal from Matheus Nunes to give Man City the victory. Bernardo Silva and Marcus Rashford with the other goal scorers. Pep, you saw the celebration from Pep Guardiola after the goal score at the conclusion of the game. This is big bad Man City just, battling, trying to crawl their way into Champions League. And it sometimes winning trophies is great, but these simple things really shows how hard that Man City is working to get into Champions League.
And I think Pep sees the challenge ahead, and I think he's relishing the challenge ahead, and I think he wants the challenge ahead on the highest stage. I don't think he wants to play a Europa League with that Man City team. I think he wants the challenge of rebuilding this team, but rebuilding them at the highest stage. See how he can fare, because Man City next year is going to be a completely different team. We already hear Bernardo Silva leaving. We already hear Kevin De Bruyne leaving. We already hear rumors of other players that are transition. Jack Grealish was supposed to play another second for Man City.
Unless he has an outstanding summer.
There's no need. All right, unless he has an outstanding summer, that's true. But there's no need for him, for them to even see if he can have an outstanding summer at Man City. They have enough players where they can play 3 preseason games at the same time as Jack Grealish still don't have to play. They have enough wingers out there for play. So they're in a transition period. And I think they're going to look for number 9 as well. I think they're going to give Erling Haaland, they might frame it as help, but in reality, they're giving him competition. And they will get better after that competition. So that team is going to look different. And I think Pep relishes the opportunity. And I think Pep is looking for his next leaders right now. Marmoush is just get about the captain's armband from now. I mean,
you want captain armband, not because you play some ball good, it means you get captain's armband.
No, but he's trekking that way. We see players come in and just try to play a role, or if they try to play and assume a superstar personality, they can't handle it. Marmoush is as advertised. I don't think this is honeymoon period. The man is a baller.
Yeah.
He's a baller.
Football family, you can call in 770-696-6040 or on WhatsApp 352-745-0992. 352-745-0992 is the WhatsApp number. Call in, family. Call in. Not giving a jersey tonight, but call in. So you see Jack Grealish out. Before we leave this game, or leave Man City, I have to highlight these young players, and I wonder why they didn't play earlier. James McCarthy has been outstanding in the running. Nick O'Reilly has been outstanding in the running for Man City. And yes, Pep said, well, it's probably the right time to paraphrase. I think I recall a statement like that. It's just the right timing for them. But, I wonder why these players didn't get more minutes earlier on, because we saw them in the summer tour. They played well, and I thought that they would have gotten more valuable minutes, not just this late in the season. But good to see the youth, them are playing some ball for them, playing some serious football.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll be hard for Pep to be playing the younger youths are having millions of dollars sitting on the bench. At least millions of dollars proves that they are not worth it.
And my response to that is big coach Pep, who run Eto out of town at Barca. I don't care about them. It's performance. It's performance, So over on the Villa side, speaking of performance, Marcus Rashford, penalty score. Question first and foremost: Are you okay with this Marcus Rashford's playing being the point? You spoke about it when he was at Man City. Didn't like at Manchester United. You didn't like it then, but he looks quite. Yes, he probably could have scored a couple more goals, hit the post.
Scored a hat trick.
He's lively.
Yeah, yes. I'm big up Jeremy. Jeremy thinks I'm hate Rashford. I don't hate Rashford. Our Jeremy and Javan, not Levy, Samuels. Jeremy and Samuels and Javan are two big Rashford apologists. Rashford can do no
Countryman thinks he hate Rashford still.
Everybody feel like I hate Rashford. And
you hate Marcus Rashford?
No, I don't hate Marcus Rashford.
Okay.
I want to see Marcus Rashford in a Manchester United jersey. If he is committed, yes. If he's not committed, no. And we move on. I wish him all the best. But for Rashford, though, playing in the 9, never be that guy. He should have scored a hat-trick yesterday. He could have scored a hat-trick yesterday.
But it's a little bit of bad luck still, because the player that hit off the post, the ball that hit off the post, 5 centimeters to the left is a goal. And he had Ruben Diaz in a chokehold. Nasty him up, spinning back and forth. And I was like, Marcus Rashford having this. And then to place it perfectly, it was just like a little bit curve on it. That would have been a goal. So,
you think you can tell Asamoah Gyan and the Ghana nation when Luis Suarez had the ball in the World Cup and then give it a penalty and then go to penalty shootout?
You carry Asamoah Gyan name in and it's man. I take a belt and beat him. Him no miss him penalty.
Rashford missed him 1-on-1. He had a 1-on-1.
Him no miss him penalty. Asamoah Gyan or whatever.
Yes, and Rashford missed his 1-on-1. So miss me with the luck thing. You know what? Look,
and again, Rashford did set up Jacob Ramsey for the foul, right?
Rashford was mental. All right, okay. So this is where people are going to say I am bad-minding Rashford.
Okay.
Rashford over-dribbled. And the ball, and Ramsey coming and take the ball off his foot. And Ruben Diaz trying to get out of the way. Nobody on the field thought penalty. Nobody. Aston Villa player, oh, damn. Oh, Ruben, you're not trying to get, all right, we get up and go back. And the ball reach up, referee, check. Wait, what? Everybody like, wait, what? Commentator like, okay, the VAR says the check is a penalty. Nobody even asked for the penalty. That's how inconspicuous it was. And it's a harsh cut.
But nobody have asked for it. I mean, the VAR is there to correct the wrongs, and the VAR felt like that was a wrong. So wait, you don't think it's a penalty?
No, I have no problem with the penalty given.
Okay.
And if I'm a Man City fan, I would feel hard done by the penalty. Pep has every right to be angry. Better, but the defender goes and say, "Let me get out of your way."
Well, get out of your way or not, you still trip. you still,
Yeah.
you still delay me. But the Marcus Rashford situation is one to watch closely. Definitely rediscovered his form, and he looks like he has a place in Villa. He's playing well. He's enjoying football.
He recovered his form.
I mean, wait, in the score what? 2 goals in 10 appearances for Villa. How many assists?
That is rediscovering
that is in the Premier League.
As a striker.
No, 2 goals in the FA Cup. This is 2 goals in the Premier League and then 2 goals in the FA Cup. What? 4 goals?
As a striker.
That's not bad. That is not a bad return. And none in the Champions League, of course.
As a striker.
We're gonna have to look at how he compares to other strikers there, Junior.
He has 2 goals, 2 assists in Premier League. He has 2 assists in Champions League.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this: Marcus Rashford. I would have gone with Ollie Watkins down the middle today, but I am not a coach.
Simple.
I would have put Rashford out wide, but I am not a coach, and I would have gone with Ollie Watkins down the middle. But Unai Emery seems to think that Rashford can play down the middle. So
I think there's something to, if we invest money in a player, I need to see my returns on the money. I think there's something to that with football owners, because Ollie Watkins down the middle and Rashford on the wing is common sense, right? Ollie Watkins has a better return rate on goals to shots.
Yeah.
Why is Rashford playing over him? Why you started Rashford over him versus PSG? Why you started Rashford over him versus Man City? In essence, is a Champions League playoff game. Why? And then you put him on Ollie Watkins on, and then we almost had it, and we were so unlucky. You never throw your best punch. What is it? And we've seen this before, and you haven't said it yet. But here's the Rashford hater. Sources coming out saying that Marcus Rashford will be looking to play for a Champions League team next year. What the hell is that? One day after, you missing 2 goals that could have given us a Champions League spot. Imagine you as an Aston Villa fan, better. You're a diehard Aston Villa fan. And you sit down and watch that game and see Rashford missed 2 chances. And then you try to process what the hell just happened. I feel like my outplay Man City. I feel like my play we played like we are on the same level as Man City. We just ran Newcastle off the field. What the hell? How the hell would that even in 5th position? Why are we so far from Champions League spot? And then 3 hours later, Rashford say, "Oh, you hear me? Next year, me want to play for one Champions League team." Imagine
Well, I think as an Aston Villa fan, I would definitely understand that this is a loan move and accept that there's nothing necessarily permanent about this scenario. Rashford has to demonstrate to us that he is somebody worth investing, £40 million? How much is the asking price for? Because not like Villa has money thrown away like Chelsea. So going into this scenario or into this window, I said, you can play some ball for me, and then when the summer is finished, then we send you back to Manchester United. No, that is me, the Villa fan. If he wants to play Champions League ball, then it's between him and whoever Champions League club he want to go figure out what to play for. Because, but Villa might end up making the Champions League. We'll look at the schedule in a second. So, So that would be my assessment as a Villa fan going in, because the scenario, we know it's a loan move, and of course I would, cheap as I am, I want to squeeze Manchester United for anything I can get. So the £40 million, I hope that he's disgruntled and we can get him for £20 million. That is me, the Villa fan.
If he's disgruntled, why do you think Man U is going to fall?
Well, disgruntled send him back at Manchester United, and he's so unhappy and he can't work with them. And so you want to get him off your books, and we say, all right, it's $20 million now. We can come play some ball for it.
No, just lend him out to the next highest bidder.
So we just go and lend out the man so and so every year.
As long as you pay him wages. Remember Rashford is a homegrown player. When there's no return on money, he's homegrown. Any money coming in and transfer is a plus. Remember that. There's no he was bought for 80. I was selling him for 20. I was 60 million loss. No. He's homegrown. So anything that we take is a plus.
But ultimately, Villa also don't want Marcus Rashford to do too great also. You want him to do well, but you don't want him to because then that potentially could inflate the price. Huh?
No, the price is the price.
The price is permanent, is set. So if Marcus Rashford scores 15 or 20 goals, Manchester United has no wiggle room to say, yo, give me a top up on this 40 million.
No, because it will take another team coming in to compete with Rashford. Yeah.
Yes.
Because
then,
that's going to say,
if he excels at Villa and another team comes in and then enter the space, then you see what I'm saying? That makes it a little bit more. So on a loan move, you want a player to do well, but you don't want them to do well that makes it competitive for you to sign that player.
No, but 15, 20 goal Marcus Rashford, you are playing against, you're getting ready to play against Arsenal in the Champions League semi-final. United is about to play against his whole team. Or you're competing with Arsenal for second spot in the Premier League. So regardless, you're getting your money back, whether it's 15 goals or not. Whether somebody come in and beat you out for him next year, you are getting a return because he came to you and you benefited. So there are ways to look at it. What you just said a while ago is a bad mind statement. You're willing to cut off your nose just to spite your face.
It's a business of it to an extent, because you want him to excel, but at the same time, you want to have a cap. You said, all right, Marcus, pass the ball to Ollie Watkins. Don't score them heap of extra goals, because we don't want to invite, PSG into this conversation when it comes to, we don't want Manchester United to have many options for you. So basically, but of course, for the player, the more options, the better it is. And that is a tricky thing with transfers and loan moves, right? There's a lot of variables in the whole thing. Speaking of players who might be moving on, multiple reports, and since we're on Aston Villa, we have to discuss Aston Villa zone Leon Bailey. I don't know, not in the squad again today, or not on the bench today. He wasn't in the squad. Unai said he had a chance. He made a decision on the weekend to leave out Leon Bailey. I'm not sure if it's also another coach's decision today. I didn't see anything from Unai, but I'm trying to choose my words carefully here before because we don't know.
Because we are Jamaican based.
Yes, it's a Jamaican based show. I don't want a man come tell me about. Well, you know what? A man can't tell me about my parts. You know what? All right. He's not on the bench today. Leon Chippy wasn't on the bench today. We don't know what's the scenario or situation with Chippy at Aston Villa. Junior, put on your agent hat. In the running Champions League football game, one of your you know, if you're a big baller, you're a winger who's supposed to help make a difference in this running, should be one of your penciled player on your squad, right? Because you need him late in game, especially run out weaker tired defenders.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you two perspectives. Let me give you
Wait, see, I give you how many perspectives?
give you the two perspectives. I'm big up BM.
The
Big up,
politics.
big up,
I see you know I'm bullhead PJ.
big up Wayne. Big up Wayne. That's a big up ball chat. BM asks what's our situation? What's our thoughts on the Bailey situation? I will give you two perspectives. The first perspective is when you have a team, and a team is a sum of its parts, right? In the world that we live in, at some time, the parts don't fit, right? And whether the part that you have is either defective or got better or outgrew the whole, you have to make a change, right? In this situation, it seems like one of the parts that we are talking about doesn't fit the trajectory of the team at this current moment. It doesn't mean that this is a long-term thing. It doesn't mean that, like BM says, the writing is on the wall. It doesn't mean that. It just means that at this very moment, currently, this part, Leon Bailey, doesn't fit the current scheme or the current trajectory of the team. That doesn't mean it's the end, right? Now, to be fair and to be honest, we haven't heard anything directly from Leon Bailey. We haven't heard anything directly from representation or representatives of Leon Bailey.
Man, you're nothing from Bullet, man. Come on, man. I had to deal with that.
Directly, but directly, because
Aston Villa. Bullet. Mr.
Bullet is for, since I'm on the politically correct train, Bullet is for the Jamaican market that is looking for information through that medium. You have another medium that people indigest information from, which is more the Sky Sports, more mainstream media that comes with not credible, but it comes with sources that are willing to put their reputation on the line to say that the information they are given is 100% correct. So I'm on that plane of existence right now. We're just dealing with facts. Bailey is not injured to our knowledge. Maybe he is injured. Maybe something we don't know. We have no idea what happened. So I agree it looks negative right now from the player's perspective, but we don't know what the future holds.
Yahoo Sports is reporting Aston Villa winger is looking for immediate exit from the club due to Unai Emery. And of course, the Aston Villa winger.
I saw the story and I don't believe it.
According to Give Me Sports, Aston Villa winger Leon Bailey is ready to leave the club this summer after his lack of game time at Villa Park this season. With Emery signing Milan, Marco Asensio, and Marcus Rashford in the transfer. But a lone player, them, yeah. I mean, Marcus Rashford's a lone player. So, in fact, Marco Asensio is also a lone player. Right? So, both of those are lone players. Milan is a permanent transfer. So I mean, Leon's supposed to go then. He's supposed to go and build back. Because, I mean, in the summer, I envision those loan moves, probably those players return to their parent club.
Yes.
And then Leon will have to make a case for himself.
Right. And that's why I say it looks bad right now, but if Aston Villa is in the Champions League next year, we're having a different conversation. We are. Because there's a reason why you had to loan in these players, right? You weren't playing at a level that you wanted to play. That's why I sought the option of improving my squad by bringing in these players during the January transfer window, right? Or during the transfer window. That's why I loan in these players. So if I am playing at the Champions League level next year, then the players that I had prior to the loan isn't good enough. That's the signal that was given. That's the fly in the ointment. That's the elephant in the room. The players I had prior are simply not good enough, and I had to make a change. So if I'm playing in the Champions League, yo, players, it is what it is, you know. We have to get better this summer. We have to rededicate ourselves, and I am going to look to strengthen the squad. If you can get better over the next 6 weeks, get better over the next 6 weeks. But some change is going to have to occur. If they don't get into the Champions League, then why would Bailey be that worried? Isn't Bailey good enough to play on a non-Champions League English Premier League team? I would think so. But again, we don't know. We have no idea what is being said behind closed doors.
Yeah.
BM says Bailey isn't injured. The coach said he left him out on purpose. He's paraphrasing. The coach said, and I'm also paraphrasing, but the coach, Unai Emery said, the squad got more healthy. We got players coming back to full health. So the squad inflated, and I picked my players, and some players just get left out just because of numbers. It is what it is. But talk to the players that get left out, them understand the situation and move on. That's what you and I said.
So ultimately, right now, I think this is just another motivation for Chippy. I mean, right now is basically if you get left out of the squad, the match day squad, it's incumbent on you now to put the work in. I mean, we don't know how the thing work. I mean, a business the man them a run. A ball and productivity them a play. This is your business. This is your line of work. So Villa has what? How many games left in the Premier League for the rest of the season? Plus they're also in the FA Cup semi-final also, right? So there are many more games left. So it's incumbent on Bailey to really kind of push himself in practice and try to push himself back into the squad, and most importantly, get minutes on the park. I mean, I think that it is for him. No, and this also will not just help him. Well, we don't know, so obviously, this is the objective, to get back in the squad and play ball. But this is not only would help him with his situation if he wants to remain at Aston Villa, but it will also make him more marketable to a potential suitor. I mean, when you're a player and you're productive, you can have a choice. You get to decide your destination more easily as opposed to players who are not playing as long as a bench, you know, or not even in a squad.
Not necessarily, because and this is a real question. But before I ask the question, BM says if Bailey was important to Emery, he wouldn't leave him out. That's true. Who is Leon Bailey's agent? For real, for real. It's not Butler. Butler is not his agent. Who is Leon Bailey's real agent? That is the question. And what is that agent's track record? Because Leon Bailey he is a talent. And he still have some value. It's all about how the agents speak to the clubs, right? So who is his agent?
Because I ask AI, who is Leon Bailey?
No, seriously, we'll come back to ask, because I'm sure, and if it says it's Craig Butler, your bullet apologies, but I never think you were his agent.
Yeah, I mean, Leon Bailey's agent is Craig Butler, who also served as his adopted father according to AI. I always thought he was the agent. Now, in terms of license and moving people from one place to the next, there might be some collaborators on the UEFA license, marketplace that works with him in some of these transfers. But he's labeled as his agent, as his representation. Bailey is also represented by Phoenix Sports Management, and is also represented by Unique Sports Management, which Unique Sports Management is based in New York City. I don't know who owned that. So I mean, with these transfers, if I understand it, and just speaking to the agent, big up yourself, brethren, big up yourself, you know yourself. You have an agent, but you also have people that you collaborate with to broker a deal who have license in certain marketplace.
So, now cut you. But Eddie Ward, who is Eddie Ward? Because I'm seeing Eddie Ward right now. Eddie Ward, the leading agent, Eddie Ward, and his company, Colossal Sports Management, have been banned for 20 months by the Football Association after he was found to have approached.
Bring up.
No, but that was Bailey's agent in Germany.
That was his agent, okay.
That was his agent, Eddie Ward. And that agency was banned from football 2 years ago until December 2024. So the start of this year is when that agency come back. So, look, we don't know. I'm just, again, we don't, I know, I'm leave it alone. Let me not. Let me not bother go this up. I don't really want nobody come talk bad about ball chat.
No, so it says here in this AI review, is that he's also represented by Unique Sports Management, which has, and if you go to Unique Sports Management's website, I mean, them have quite a few players in them, there's quite a few clients in them thing, yeah. So, basketball players, so.
But we're.
So I don't know.
BM says you don't sacrifice your best players with big games ahead. Remember, Villa is fighting for a Champions League or Europa League spot. Jeremy, big up Jeremy and Lee. Say, why is ball chat on tonight? What am I missing? Yo, we'll start a midweek calling show.
Yeah, Manchester United is in the Europa League semi-final, so we start a midweek show.
So Wednesday nights during the season, we're going to have a midweek show as well. But so for Bailey, I think Bailey is in a precarious position though, because he's not young anymore. He's 27 years old. He's not a young player anymore. He has an injury record. If him and Unai Emery have a falling out, remember now, this is not because of injury why he's not playing. He's perfectly fit and is not getting picked for the squad. That shows that there's dissent between player and coach.
Really, though?
Of course it does.
No, it doesn't, not necessarily because Unai Emery was painstakingly said on Sunday, or this past weekend during the Newcastle game, said in the pre-match, he says one of the most difficult decisions he has to do, he has to leave out 3 players. And he's like, it was a very tough decision, but the squad, like he said, is getting healthy. And so Leon Bailey and this other player and 2 other players. So when a coach makes that statement to me, that means, it's not it's just better ballers. He might go with these better players in his mind, And I mean, long as story short, I mean, come on. Marcus Asensio and Marcus Rashford are ahead of Bailey in the pecking order. So we don't know, say, we can't, I just saw it go.
So the report coming out about Leon Bailey want to get out because of Unai Emery. That's a false report.
Yeah, it's just you have some ballers ahead of you. No, and even the youth Milan, all right, we can probably go in at the debates of whether he has that step ahead of Milan. I don't even know because we see, so it's a difficult decision. And then you lay down a certain amount of money for Milan coming out of Germany. Remember, Bailey wasn't a Unai Emery transfer, right? He inherited Bailey, right? So, so all right. So
he also inherited Musa Diaby, and he chose Bailey over Diaby.
yeah, but if maybe by getting rid of Diaby is just an indication that I am offloading these players one season at a time. Now, Musa Diaby garnered a valuable transfer coming out of Saudi Arabia, right? Because it's like Saudi Arabia money did long. So ultimately, this may be Unai Emery saying, no, I am moving off players that doesn't work with my thing. And I am looking to get players that work with my thing.
Right.
And I just saw it go. I mean, now, again, Leon Bailey has games left this season, provided, training, FA Cup games and FA Cup semi-final, at least one of those games, and then Premier League games to force himself back onto the field.
We'll see.
Because
Jeremy says Bailey, I listen to Rashford, man. Get him new contract and act like a fool. Benton, you're wrong. They were winning before Rashford. You could make a case they are worse off. Diaby chose money. True.
Yeah. Aston Villa has in the Premier League. Aston Villa has Fulham on May 3rd. Then May 10th, they Bournemouth, Spurs May 18th, and then round out with Manchester United. So I mean, the ball I just have to figure out a way to get back on the field. I think I just that.
He doesn't have much time though.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Yo, I wish the ball a good luck. I mean, it. Because if I guess a question probably one would ask, and if you were happy with Leon, why take on Asensio and Marcus Rashford? Loan.
Because of the injuries.
Probably the injuries. So.
Injuries. And BM says Emery didn't inherit Diaby. He bought him to compete with Bailey. That's when Bailey started to improve. And that's true.
Yes.
Remember, Bailey had to create...
When I said inherited, I meant to say that Emery inherited Leon Bailey, not Diaby.
Yeah, not Diaby.
Not Diaby.
Jeremy and said Bailey can go Burnley and star it up.
Yo, well, I don't imagine that, People you can call in, 770-696-6040. Also on the WhatsApp, 352-745-0992.
What Jamaica can do for me? What Jamaica can do for me? You think you can get me to go Real Madrid at them place, huh?
Well, I mean, we don't know the Real Madrid tactic. Yo, we don't bring back the Real Madrid interview back up. Well, Jamaica have enough ball game to play right now, so Leon Bailey will get a whole heap of minutes. Yes, sir. So he should be well loaded for the Reggae Boys coming up,
Well, at least he's well rested.
Well, look at you, Junior. EPL table, family. Looking at the EPL table. Of course, Liverpool just need a point to take care of this thing, win their 20th top flight title. But the focus is on this Champions League spot. Man City in third, 61 points, 34 games. Forest in fourth, 60 points. Newcastle fifth, 59 points. Chelsea 6th, 57. Aston Villa played 34 games on 57 points. Yeah, of course, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Forest, they have a game in hand. Your read on this thing, family?
I think Man City safe. I think they're safe, even though they're a slip away from being back in purgatory. I feel sorry for Nottingham Forest. I think the team that is finally poised is Newcastle. And Chelsea need a lot of help. Chelsea going to need a lot of help. But like I said earlier, every team going to have them opportunity to earn them spots.
Yeah, so, look on Chelsea. So weird. So Chelsea play Liverpool next weekend, May 4th.
But that's coronation Liverpool.
Yeah, but I beat and teach time this man. Liverpool just are going to enjoy themselves. Well, Darwin Núñez might score a trick.
No, but the key game is this Saturday.
Against Everton.
Everton. That's the key game because we see Nottingham Forest figured it out against Tottenham. Everton going to Chelsea is a tricky game. And David Moyes is going to have the players playing for their spots next year. He's not slowing them down. And I think Everton moves into a new stadium next year. So they are not trying to go into the stadium on a low. So if they can help to keep one of the big boys out of the Champions League, that's a good feather to put in his hat this year. So this game, and it's the first game Saturday morning, bright and early, midday kickoff in England. That's a tricky game for Chelsea. I'm telling you right now, it's a tricky game for Chelsea.
Jeremy brought up a player name, and I want to ask you your thoughts on this. Jeremy said send back Sancho. Junior, remind us of the Sancho deal again, with this loan and the terms of agreement from World
It's an obligation to buy, and I think it's like 25 million if Chelsea finish in the top 15 or something like that. Chelsea obviously secured the top 15 spot right now. So that automatically triggered the easy to attain obligation to buy. But they have an option of still not using it and paying Manchester United some money. I think it's like probably 4 or 5 million.
I think I saw 5 million.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 5 million.
So, I mean, because just like you talked about Rashford earlier, so, Rashford did well at Aston Villa now. And it's the same thing people going to want to say, well, Sancho had his moments, he had his bright spots at Chelsea. No. I think the Sancho signing at Chelsea has been a failure.
Yeah, the Sancho deal for Manchester United and Chelsea. If there's any, if I am Chelsea, I'm not taking this deal. In fact, I wouldn't make the obligation, but I would send back Sancho on the $5 million and call it, because I cannot make a commitment to such an inconsistent player. And more importantly for Chelsea, you sign all these players, and Sancho a big man now, a long time Sancho play ball, And yes. Now in a Champions League running, you can't even put on your pat pan Sancho if you come for impact a game. No man, I would send him right back on the $5 million right to Chelsea.
It's not Sancho alone. I would send
him back to Manchester United.
I wouldn't sell Sancho alone. I would send whoever the hell is making these deals, because it's not only Sancho. My boy, we're starting there now. AC Milan, João Felix.
João Felix, another one. Yes.
Who the hell sanctioned these deals at Chelsea? Who the hell thinks that they can salvage these players? Like
what? The signing of João Felix, or they're sending him to AC Milan? Which one?
The signing of João Felix and the signing of Sancho. Those are both mirror images of each other.
Yeah,
and you made the same mistake over and over again. This is at some point you would think whoever is signing off on these deals would have a little bit of fear making certain deals, right? So normally you'll see a player, take for example, use a real world example, João Felix. He's an Atletico Madrid prodigy, or a prodigy in Portugal, went to Atletico Madrid, never panned out to anything, went on loan. Where did they go? Barca at one point. Got a Barca in the go? Where did they go?
Yeah, man, they are Barca, man. Then him in a tour,
Barca.
and they are tour card for Barca. In fact, him take down Atletico Madrid after him name and his social media, and him says living in Barca is the best thing, and they are convinced B Silva say, boy, it's such a lovely place. But him I convinced B Silva to go Barca when him not secure a Barca.
Him not secure, yeah. So you make all of these, right? And it failed at Chelsea. And you go and look at Jadon Sancho and say, you know what? Even though I have the experience of João Felix, I think Jadon Sancho is different. Weird. They are mirror images of each other. Jadon Sancho, prodigy at Man City, left go Dortmund, had couple good years, and ever since then just fall off the cliff. Why you think he's going to resurrect himself at Chelsea? That's just crazy. I hear Jeremy now. I would take João Felix at Man U for a cheap rate. You're mad. Madness. I wouldn't take João Felix at Man U for free. I would even if Chelsea said it's £5 million for João Felix. I wouldn't take João Felix if they put £5 million in a João Felix pocket and send him come a Man U.
I don't do it either. No.
Hell no.
Speaking on the Market Madness podcast, Fabrizio Romano said of João Felix, quote, I think it's not going to be easy to find the right solution, but I think they will do that. As in Chelsea, they will do that because João Felix, at the moment, from what I heard, is not really important part of Chelsea project. So I want to repeat that enough. Fabrizio Romano is saying that João Felix is not a really important part of Chelsea's project. His loan spell at Milan was not good at all. So at the moment, the idea is for sure from AC Milan, and the player will not stay. They will not open any negotiation with Chelsea to keep João. And from Chelsea's side, I think they will try together with the agent of the player to find a solution as soon as possible. In terms of timing, I think it could take some time because there is interest, for example, from Turkey. There's also interest from clubs in Portugal, especially Benfica, who would love to bring the player back. But financially, we know that the salary of João Felix is a big one. So usually these kinds of deals always take time. Yo, I joke this. So pretty much them just borrow this player. Yo, you know what Benfica pimp, you know? Benfica is... How much money did Atletico Madrid send for João Felix? Was the transfer wasn't about 100 million?
I grip it on because there were a couple teams in the running, if you remember clearly. There were a couple teams vying for João Felix. So it wasn't a cheap transfer.
So it's according to Fabrizio Romano, and we call him the Oracle of Transfer. Of course, he's gotten things wrong, but we don't know. He's probably gotten more right than wrong in this transfer market space. Speaking to the Market Madness podcast, AC Milan doesn't want him, so AC Milan is gonna send João Felix back. And it's so funny that I'm watching AC Milan and João Felix are rub bench. I mean, I say, wait. You rub bench at Chelsea, you rub bench at Barca, you rub bench at Atletico. I know you do over here, so I rub bench. This AC Milan team, you rub bench pan, him not ready, man. Come on.
And you know the writing was on the wall when Kyle Walker said, we're not playing with Lionel Messi. Pass the damn ball.
Yeah, he did say that. He did say that. So, So word is that according to Fabrizio, he looks like Turkey and Portugal could be potential destination. And you know what? If I'm Benfica and I'm a club in Turkey, if I'm signing Joao Felix, I'm paying £5 million for him. £5 million. In fact, Chelsea need to pay him if you take him. Because this is what should happen to clubs like Chelsea that do foolishness. Everybody knows that this was a bad deal, but yet they decided to do it. So come on.
My point exactly.
So what will happen with Jadon Sancho?
I don't know. I think they're going to send him back. I think he's coming. I think both Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho will be at Manchester United in the summer.
How many years is he on this deal with Man United?
I don't know.
Because it's what, 2021?
He probably has 2 more years.
Probably 2 more years. Okay, so you can loan him out again for another year, and then urgently try to find a place.
Of course.
All right, before we take ourselves from Premier League and look at Jamaica Premier League, your thoughts on this Champions League spot? Football family, this is Ball Chat Halftime Show. If you want to call in, you can call in. We don't have a jersey I give away, but we love to hear the opinions of people, you know. The number is on the screen, family. So you said Nottingham Forest is the odd man out in this running for you.
In my eyes, yes.
We just remind listeners of the fixtures of these teams. 4 games remaining. Man City's 4 games are they play Wolves on May 2nd. Of course, they have the FA Cup this weekend. Southampton, will host Man City May 10th. May 18th, Man City plays Bournemouth. And May 25th, Man City plays Fulham. Schedule easy, brother. That's an easy schedule.
Yeah.
And two games at the Etihad after 4 games. So
I'm good. They should be safe.
Yeah, the schedule easy. Far as 4 games are, of course, Forest will be in the FA Cup. Wait, no, Forest have more than 4 games because Forest has games in hand. On Thursday, May 1st, Forest plays Brentford. May 5th, Forest plays Crystal Palace. May 11th, Forest plays Leicester City. May 18th, Forest plays West Ham, and they round out the season with Chelsea. Wait, there's so many games Forest have left?
Yep. I remember this is Jekyll and Hyde Forest. So they might be on a good run, and then all of a sudden the foundation just topple. That's why I think they're the odd man out.
Yeah, 5 games. 5 games remaining. Oh, okay.
I really think pressure is going to get to them.
Yeah. So Forest is. So who gets in the Newcastle in 5th? Newcastle schedule. Who gets in the Champions League spot?
I think it's between Newcastle and Chelsea.
Newcastle hosts Ipswich on Saturday.
Win.
Then on May 4th they play Brighton. May 11th they play Chelsea.
That's for all the marbles.
That game is huge. May 18th play Arsenal.
Win.
At Emirates.
Win. We don't know. That could be Champions League final going Arsenal.
And May 25th they play Everton at home.
Win. But that Arsenal game is tricky. They're about draw with Arsenal. And the other thing too, will Eddie Howe be back?
No, he's gone for the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
I think Jason Tyndale is gonna be the one leading.
So that's another factor to put in place. So look, it's no telling that you can't flip a kite. Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle are Aston Villa. Those are 4 teams vying for 2 spots.
Chelsea versus Everton this weekend. May
Big game.
4th, Chelsea versus Liverpool. May 11th, Chelsea versus Newcastle. May 16th, Chelsea Man United. May 25th, Chelsea Nottingham Forest.
Yo, Chelsea have the hardest schedule.
Yeah. You know what? Chelsea might not even win a game.
Nah,
Maybe the Man United.
They'll beat Man U.
Maybe the Man United game.
Yeah, they'll beat
But if you've already if you lose these 3 games going into the Manchester United game, then of course this Chelsea team will probably just throw in the towel and call it.
But remember, they still have the Conference League. So the question though would be, if they lose to Everton and lose the game after that, would Maresca finish the season on the sideline? That's a big question.
I guess this is gonna be the real true test of Maresca coaching in high stress situation, because this is why you brought him in, right? To take them, to have this group ready up to battle down the stretch. A business in high season right now. And I don't know. I mean, they have a good player, Tariq George. I would try to get him as many minutes as possible because he's a goal scorer. Pedro Neto is playing some ball. Very much concerned about Cole Palmer, but you're going to have to probably do it without Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
And then for Aston Villa's schedule, Aston Villa remaining games are May 3rd against Fulham, May 10th, Bournemouth, May 18th, Spurs, and then May 25th against Man United.
So Villa have the easiest schedule, but they have the highest hill to climb. So Villa, I think Villa's schedule is the easiest, but they have less room for mistake. They have less room for error. Yeah. Newcastle, I think Newcastle has already made their error. They cannot have another error. I think getting run off the field by Aston Villa was their error. They can't have another one.
And before we take ourselves from the Premier League this weekend, we just want to remind listeners the landscape of things. Sunday, Spurs versus Liverpool, 11:30 p.m. Liverpool just need a point at Anfield and this thing is over. Family, surely this is it, right?
It done in the first 5 minutes, because this is Tottenham having the opportunity to end Chelsea's chance of winning the Premier League this year. The game done in the first
and
second.
Chelsea are Arsenal.
Arsenal, their main rival. Yeah. The game done in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, this is true.
Remember, this is Tottenham that Thierry Henry was the one that famously come out and say he hates Tottenham, you know.
Yeah, Tottenham won't be doing any business to help Arsenal.
Hell no. That's what the game done. And do you know the history of Tottenham versus Arsenal? Do you know why they are rivals? I saw that
enlighten me, educate me on this one, because I don't really know. I don't know.
It's a funny story. Tottenham is older than Arsenal. And I think Tottenham was in the top flight. This is years ago. We're talking like World War I.
Mm-hmm.
Some war happened, and whatever, you have the football league, and Arsenal got voted in to the top league without qualifying and got kicked out by Tottenham. And Tottenham got kicked out. And the Arsenal owner had a strong relationship with the league owner at the time, and that influenced the decision to make Arsenal get automatically promoted and then kick out Tottenham. And Arsenal moved from they weren't in London at the time. They were south in somewhere, and then they wanted to come up into London, into North London, at Highbury. And Highbury is very close to Tottenham Hotspur. Very close.
Yeah.
And Tottenham never like it. Them say we know what other teams are close to it.
Yeah.
So you bad man. Go up to themselves, kick them out of the foot, and from that they became mortal enemies. They don't like each other. It's generations. And it's a thing with the war, and Arsenal got voted into the Premier. It wasn't the Premier League, it was like the Football League at the time.
First division.
Yeah, and they got voted into it, and Tottenham was kicked out of the league. And the Tottenham fans never forget it.
Yeah.
Never forget.
And so, AI overview says Arsenal, in 1913, Arsenal moved their stadium to Highbury in North London, which was seen as encroaching on Tottenham's territory and sparked early tensions. According to Bleacher Report, in 1919. So in 1913, Arsenal moved to Highbury in North London, encroaching on Tottenham's space. In 1919, Arsenal was controversially voted into the first division, taking the place of Tottenham, which further fueled the rivalry. So that is a controversial voting into, according to Bleacher Report. So
and I think Arsenal wasn't even a mid-table team in the second division, but the man they get voted in. And the owner of Arsenal at the time were very good friends of the Football League owner or the director or whatever, and they influenced the votes.
You know what? All right, so that means that we need to support Tottenham then. Because Tottenham are the small man who will get trampled on by Arsenal and illegally. Because it says here Arsenal was controversially voted. When you use the word controversy, there's no controversy about a vote. It's either they were legally voted in or not. So
no, they had a vote.
Yeah.
This was the league was getting expanded.
Yes.
So they're going to expand the league by one team. And I think Chelsea was the second team. There's a big team came in with Arsenal, not a big team. But when the voting happened, because they had to vote to see who they're going to let into the league. When the voting happened, the man said, we're not letting one, we're going to let in two, and we're going to dash one. But they kick out that teeth.
Yep, right. And by 1950, World War I on the horizon, Spurs were playing football in England's top flight while Arsenal was laboring in the division below. The Football League was suspended until after the war, with Spurs and Chelsea languishing in the bottom two places in Division 1, while Arsenal were sixth in Division 2. When the war ended, it took some time for the FA to reorganize, and in 1919 the league reopened for business. This time around, though, the league would be comprised of 22 teams instead of 20 that were there before the war. Early precedents set by the league suggested that Spurs and Chelsea would remain in the top flight, while Division's top two teams, Derby County and Preston, would be promoted. But there was a fly in the ointment. Spurs had not bargained for Norris campaigning during the war, which is one of the big guys in the league. And behind the scenes, he had lobbied hard and spent a large amount of money doing so. He argued that Arsenal had been members of the league for longer than Spurs and should therefore be awarded their place in New Look League. Yo, the man using this logic, both Wolves and Birmingham, who had finished above Arsenal, had better claims on a lucrative position. So Arsenal Ay, 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 ay. Arsenal, Liverpool chairman and league president and friend of Norris, Jack McKenna, proposed that Chelsea should be automatically re-elected because of their league position. All the voting members agreed that Chelsea should retain their status, and that left Arsenal, Barnsley, Birmingham. Yeah. This is a very interesting story, family. This is very important. Very. You see how Balcha, yo, enough man pick up rivalry and a jump and go to North London and don't really know the history. Arsenal. You know what? Should we call him Dirty Arsenal?
Check with Sean.
Arsenal illegally overthrew some scamming thing to undercut Spurs remaining in the top division. Arsenal was in Division 2 and because of relationship. Ay. No wonder them hate Arsenal.
Hit them like rat
Hate
poison.
them like poison. Yo.
And that give you more context. You have the social media video where they have a bunch of Tottenham fans and say if they would accept winning the Premier League if it means that Arsenal win the Champions League. And them said nope.
No, them not win.
We don't want the Premier League.
They rather not win nothing.
And then they have one it's a real life survey and you have one guy that survey like you said, yo, is the Premier League doing it? Or is the Champions League? One of them. But both of them split in the big trophies. And the brother said, boy, like I said, yo, it's the Premier League, you know. You know Milan take the Premier League and then everybody put and say, so you're gonna make Arsenal win the Champions League? I say, yo, you're dead to me. You are dead to me.
You know what, Junior? This is a new segment, you know. We need to highlight these rivalries, you know, and the history behind these rivalries. Because we are students of the game. We are students of the football game. And yeah, man, this Arsenal one, you forget. The Galatasaray Fenerbahce one and all these heated rivalry, Milan derby, all these things need to get.
Next one for you.
Need to get bring. I mean, we know something about, of course, El Clasico and the wartime, but all these things need to come.
No, we need to go Argentina.
Boca River. Boca River Plate.
Oh, you want to talk about hit?
Yeah. Jamaican Premier League family push towards the finish line. It's official. You're big up Bullhead, but Veer Phoenix relegated, family.
And he came out and he did a Instagram post today. He being Greg Butler come out and I think it's two said his response and talk about the disappointment of being relegated, but they will be back. The plan to get promoted next year and then 2 years lift the trophy. And he's saying that he has
Wait, hold on. Sorry, 2 years win which trophy? The first division trophy?
I'm paraphrasing.
Okay.
You know Craig is going to Chad. But so the plan is for him to get them back up to the top flight next year, after next season, and then accomplish the goals they want to accomplish in the top flight. But he also talked about the young players that he have and having the best Jamaican young talent on his team, which he does have some young talented footballers. So an extra year playing in lower division, we'll see how that materialize itself, because we'll see. But that's basically what he said, and voicing disappointment and looking forward to the challenge of getting them back up to the top flight.
Yo, a long time Veer no win a game, you know.
Yeah.
A long time no win a game. Last victory was March 9th. Yo, that's over a month ago, you know.
Yep.
Over a month ago. All right, big man talk. Yeah, me know. You see, Veer Phoenix, and I think the Premier League is better with a Craig Butler personality in it. The
And then,
Jamaican Premier League will miss Craig Butler
yes.
because of the and I probably will put our money on this. The viewership may dip without Craig Butler and Veer Phoenix in it. So I think from Premier League Football Association or Limited or whatever they're called, it's not good for business. So
Are you saying that this is where they should pull Arsenal and vote Veer Phoenix back in the
well, we
Premier
don't know it, so, but this is where you need to be friends with the leadership, the people in the league. I don't know if Bullet and them on their friend.
No.
Don't know, but so on that side, it's gonna be a loss for the league, in terms of the numbers because people watch. I think there have been more viewers who just want to see what happens to some like Craig and some don't like him who watch Veer Phoenix and may have watched even other games so the viewership. We wait to see how the numbers go for the Jamaican Premier League viewership.
Yep.
Now, on the football side of things, Craig a ramp with him on them ball game, man. No, hear me now. You can't take Jamaican Premier League for clown. Because you roll out Kyle Butler. I don't think Kyle Butler no selector or producer.
Yeah, I think Kyle is still trying to find himself.
Yeah, and we're proud of the youth and the work that he has done. But at the same time, he's played some valuable minutes in this team, and we watch football. We see Kyle in a football playing shape. That's what I say. So we know you have talented players over there, and you have youth them you have developed. And for me, my curiosity is that does that impact the development of those players? When you play Kyle so many minutes, So,
yeah, this year, yes, it does.
Yeah. So at that now fix up, and we know he will be back. And I think if he's committed to it and stick with this venture, they will win the Premier League. They will win the Premier League. At some point. It's just them have to go forward and go through it and build and forward back.
Yeah, and learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
There are some mistakes that were possibly made that he can point to and say, here's the mistake that I made. And humble himself and move on. A learning experience. And he did get knowing Craig Butler is going to say he got his fight, then fight him here, so then fight him there, so he can become more equipped now to handle the fight. I remember there was some scheduling issues early in the season. Not saying that it would have made a difference in the end outcome, but maybe his approach to the league might not have been the best approach at the time.
See, I choose your words wisely.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case, we understand. No, man, big Bullet knows, we're just straight out. We're a big man around here, so we want to see him successful. So I don't know, a big man thing we are dealing with. Just like in Jamaica, we want to see anyone successful.
Yep.
Player, speaking of success, Tariq McGee. Where does he go from here now? Because Tariq McGee now going to play Division 2 ball in Jamaica.
He shouldn't even be in this conversation. You're playing in Jamaica right now just to get fit, right?
Okay, so we do expect a summer move for Tariq McGee.
Right, and if there's anybody that needs the Gold Cup and the World Cup qualifiers more than anybody in Jamaica, it is Tariq McGee. He needs it. He is the one that took a step back from USL going to the Jamaican Premier League. And no, that isn't working out. That's a failure. Let's just call it what it is. It's a failure. So if the goal was to play in the Jamaican Premier League, get fit, show that you still have the quality, you failed. Now you need to figure out that a way to keep your star quality high enough where Steve McLaren will still pull you into the squad, get your opportunity and shine, and then transfer that into a bigger club come August. That should be the only thing right now. And his agent should be working the phones, working the trainers, working the dietitian, and keep getting him to the optimal shape. That should be the only thing on the front of his mind right now.
So my question to you is this then. Do you call Tyreek McGee into the Reggae Boys on the back of this performance in VR Phoenix?
Yeah. Hold on, we'll get a call.
Yeah, somebody are calling. We all forget.
What we need to find iPhone.
Hold on, caller. We answer the phone.
Greetings, caller.
Greetings, ball shots.
Bless up, family. How you stay?
Yeah, man. So some real hope for Craig Butler. Fun fact: Steve got relegated, came back up, won the Premier League. Was it twice? Won the Caribbean Cup, and also qualified for the Champions League. So it's not all doom and gloom for Craig. You know, if he's committed to the program, like you said, he can return. I mean, we're laughing now because it's kind of funny, but again, if he's committed and serious, he can come back.
So I said the Phoenix will rise.
They can. But again, I hope Craig Butler doesn't take his players and leave. I hope he sticks around and rebuilds and come back and learn from his mistakes and be a bit more humble. That's very important.
So I agree. And that would be the number one thing. The big word that he uses, humble, humility. and right. Can he do it? That's the question. Because for one, he's not going to have high school players playing Manning Cup and looking for to play Premier League next year, or looking to play a professional league next year. So maybe he can now focus solely on their Phoenix. Maybe that's a pipeline that if he could be creating a pipeline right now for his Phoenix footballers. If you come to Phoenix and you try to develop, but you can do with an extra year of development. You don't have to go overseas. I have a developmental league right here so you can go play consistent football. Maybe, like you said, if I can rise back and this is a pipeline where he can bring in more clients. I am not only looking to send players overseas who have local options the player can play. We can walk right into a side right now. And I can develop a player from him either knees, and I can develop him all the way to come walk right into this Veer Phoenix team. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, family. I agree. You know, I think, and this based on, you know, we know Bullhead. We know he's a man who, as him saying back, broad, and him go work, and he will put in the work. And you know, do you think that with him out of the league, though, it will be a fall off in terms of viewership? You know, personally, I think that Craig Butler brings a lot more eyes to any league that he's in, and including the Jamaican Premier League.
Craig Butler is box office. No one can deny that. But again, the show must go on, right?
Yes.
So, by the way, this is BM, and keep up the good work, guys.
Yo, no, say BM for you say stats one. For a man say stats, you say BM this one.
Yeah, man. Bless up. Bless up.
All right.
Bless up.
Respect.
All right, bless
Come on.
All right, respect. Yeah, man. There you go. We got Junior. We hit our call target for one. Wait, what did it say? 1 or 2?
What?
Another player that I wanted to ask you about is who's back in the Jamaican Premier League. We're Regin Rona Corner there. Peter Lee Vassell. He's now with Mobile United. You know, playing some ball. Of course, Mobile United will we'll see more of Peter Lee Vassell in the playoffs as Mobile United will be in the playoffs. He's been getting valuable minutes. Junior, this is a good thing, right? I mean, it's good to see him playing the ball. I mean, of course, before there was a lot of talk about Tariq McGee, there was also a lot of talk about Peter Lee Vassell essentially being that solution for that Jamaican midfield.
Yeah. I hope you're not trying to.
I'm not saying that, but he's back playing football, and you know he got some minutes against Mount Pleasant. They suffered a 2-0 defeat, but Mount Pleasant is a big side. And yeah, the man back up play football, Bridget.
Happy for him. Keep playing.
I mean, let's see how old is Peter Lee Vassell. 27.
Leon Bailey age. And he's back playing in the Jamaican Premier League with no other options.
I mean, you have to go back somewhere, Junior. I mean,
and you ask me about him.
Yeah, you have to go back somewhere. But it's good to see him playing football again.
Yeah, definitely.
The standing as we head into the final round of the Jamaican Premier League, Mount Pleasant on 87 points. Mobile United in second place, 72 points. So Mount Pleasant just say, how we run this? Tapa could arrest the man them for this Mobile game, but them just decide to boy them a beat up a sides. Arnegan in third on 70 points. Cavalier has 2 games in hand, and Portmore on 53 points. Waterhouse round out the top 6 with 55 points. The last relegation spot though, family. Look at that table. Harborview 33 points. Shackleton 33 points. Humble Lion 33 points. One of those teams will be relegated.
You have to earn it.
And Dumble Holden is on 34 points. Yo, from 9. Yo, Malines are safe. Malines is on 35 points.
It is a lot going on for that last spot between 4 teams. You have to earn it. Actually, between 5 teams. You have to earn it.
You have to earn it. And Malines and Dumble Holden goal difference is minus 34 goals. Cha-cha.
I'm minus 32.
Minus 32. Yes, minus 32. Yeah.
So them definitely can't run the risk of
them can't depend on goal. Yo, with them have to just win out. Malines have to win out. And Malines do have a few big games coming down. Let's look at Malines' fixtures coming down. 2 big games. I mean, come on. If them have minus 32 goal difference today, them are going to get butter bruised further. And on the 27, Malines play Mount Pleasant. Clearly Tapa and call off the Dogs. And on May 4th, Malines play Cavalier. Those are the 2 games.
Cavalier that is still hunting a playoff spot.
Yeah. It don't look good for Malines. It does not look good for Malines. I think the only thing that Malines can hope is that the other teams that are fighting for relegation don't win nothing else. Granted, they might be playing each other though.
Let me see. Harborview plays Jamal Koff, and then they play Arnett Guns.
Let's all right, so we just do Malines. Let me do Dumble Holden real quick. Dumble Holden is sitting on 34 points. Dumble Holden has Portmore and Waterhouse. Waterhouse is trying to get into the playoff. Portmore, Dumble Holden, I think,
Portmore in the playoffs. That Dumble Holden have a rough road to.
Just like Malines.
Yeah.
Just like Malines.
Harborview have the easiest road. Harborview have the easiest road.
But half of you hasn't been really good though.
But then play Veer and then play Arnett.
All right, so Veer and Arnett. Veer don't have nothing to play for.
Right.
But a
Arnett
team that doesn't have anything to play for, Junior, that is not a dangerous team.
No, because there's a reason why them not have nothing to play for, because they're not playing anything. So they're not good. So you just go there and put the game to bed and do it early, and then you worry about Arnett guns.
Because I can see Bullet very aggressive about the Lions fighting in this football game.
Well, speaking of Lions, Humble Lions play Racing and then play Mount Pleasant.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Humble Lions in a spot about
Chapelton play Tivoli and then play Veer. So everybody have a tough game. Have at least one tough game.
All right, call it, family. Who joins Veer Phoenix relegated?
I don't know.
Lions are getting relegated. The Lions is playing Mount Pleasant and Cavalier.
Yeah, they might lose the 2 games. You're right.
Lions are getting relegated. Now, I think Lions fans will say to me that Lions have won their most recent games. So, you know, they probably will tell me, say, Lions is finding form now.
How about you go and beat Veer? So Harborview will have 36 points. And even if them lose to Arnett, if Lions lose the next 2 games, Harborview go and jump over them. So Harborview will not go and beat Veer, have at least 1 game beating Veer. Dumbo Holding, between Dumbo Holding and Lions. Right now, Lions need to find a way to get 1 point out of the next 2 games to have some semblance of a safe feeling. If them get 3 points, them feel good. But they need 1 point out of the next 2 games to feel some sort of a happiness. Okay, if they can establish a 3-point lead, no, but without the negative 32 goal difference.
No, make no difference.
No, they need at least 2 points. They need at least 2 points.
You know, all right. So to be fair to Lions and the Lions fans, I mean, they've won 2 of their last 5 and drawn 1. So of their last 5 games. So
it doesn't matter.
I mean, whereas you look at, you know, Humble Lions, you know, Chapelton is on a 3 games losing streak. They lost to Racing. They lose to Mount Pleasant. They lost to Mount Pleasant. And they lose to Cavalier. So I guess Chapelton has already completed their Lions part of the schedule, their difficult part of the schedule. So Chapelton now looks towards saying, okay, now we can find a way and win some football games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, Jamaican Premier League, nice. The games are on Sportsmax app. Definitely looking forward to see the playoffs and looking forward to this run-in as teams try battle for survival. Come on. Yo, I that to know any other football news. Yo, weird.
From here we go. Instagram is posting that UEFA is considering getting rid of overtime, extra time next year in the Champions League.
UEFA?
Yeah, the UEFA?
Is considering getting rid of extra time?
Yeah, UEFA is considering remove extra time from Champions League knockout stages next season or in the near future. Pending voting. So if the legs are still tied over 2 legs, then they go straight to penalties, which I kind of agree with.
Okay, UEFA are seriously considering removing extra time from the Champions League knockout stages next season. Yeah, I mean, so I just go straight a penalty.
Yeah, kind of agree with it.
Yeah, Guardian.
Because
Yeah, Guardian
when they
also.
remove,
Yeah, yeah,
once they removed the away goal rule, it made teams can play for penalties easier.
yeah,
The away goal rule used to remove penalties. Remember, with the away goal rule, the chances of you having penalty shootouts became slim to none.
yeah,
So I kind of agree with it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's over 2 legs. I mean, we don't need to. If you've played 180 minutes, a ball game, and still tie 0-0 or 1-1 or whatever, 2-2, we don't need not 30 more minutes on it, brother. I don't come kick penalties and we could go my way hard.
Yep.
You know, UEFA weighs up scrapping extra time for Champions League knockout rounds. If this gets implemented in UEFA, do you see this kind of a ripple effect throughout global football where other confederations in similar tournaments? You know, I think my brethren down in Miami right now, Old Foot Messi probably would have loved that.
Yeah.
You know, in
As long as you're playing over 2 legs, yes. If you're not playing over 2 legs, you're playing over 1 leg. If it's a 1 leg thing,
it's
then
a one leg thing.
bring in overtime. But if it's over 2 legs, you don't need overtime.
No need. No need. Very, very, very important. Very important point. So watch this development as we can continue throughout the year. We don't know when there'll be a vote on it. I guess they're just mulling over and then they will evaluate and
And the key thing is they're trying to do it next season or in the near future. That means them already accept that next season that happen.
Yeah, yeah. Important points that you brought up, family. I want to ask you a few things that I've been forgetting to get your thoughts on in the world of football, mainly in our backyard, mainly right outside the United States. Something big happened in American soccer recently. I think USL decided in the year 2026 or 2027 to introduce promotion relegation. And for those who don't follow American soccer or American football, I mean, this is a big deal because Major League Soccer has long pushed back against promotion and relegation. But USL now says, okay, we're going to implement it. This could be game changer in terms of who is the big league in this country, Junior.
Football no. Who's the big league? You get promoted to MLS, right?
No, because MLS has not accepted it. It's just USL through their system. It says United Soccer League club owners voted on Wednesday for promotion and relegation, marking the first time the European-style system would be implemented in the United States. Last month, USL confirmed plans to launch a Division I's men's professional league in 2027 to rival Major League Soccer within the sanctioning standards of the U.S. Soccer Federation. USL said the league would operate completely separately from MLS, despite working under the same sanctioning by the U.S. Soccer as a professional league. This new league would give the USL a 3-tier pro system, featuring the Division 1 plus a second division called the USL Championship and a third division, USL League One.
This is AFL and NFL all over again. They're going
It's the rivalry out to start. It has been there, right?
It has been there, but they're going to merge. That's a merger waiting to happen. But I thought it was going to MLS. No, that's a merger. They're going to merge. This is ABA and NBA. This is AFL and NFL. I think NIL I think college sports, college athletics, NIL has something to do with this. I think this gives USL the green light now to where them can have a tiered system. Because for those who know, college basketball is affected by NIL in the biggest way right now. My son is a basketball player. He has 2 years left. He wants to play Division One basketball. And the reality is he has no chance of playing Division One basketball because those schools are no longer recruiting high school kids. They are recruiting grown men. You have to go to the junior college route. You have to go this route, that route, that route. USL now can now look at a high school kid who has Division One quality and say, I will draft you. I will put you into this developmental league, this USL League 2 or whatever. Or if you're good enough to play USL League 1, go play USL League 1. I think this is the start of a merger because MLS is going to lose.
Because remember, MLS tried to get around this promotion relegation argument with this MLS Next.
Right.
Foolishness.
But the owners them don't want to lose money. And that's why the MLS owners, which is kind of hard. You look at the MLS owner and say, you are going to spend millions of dollars on this aging footballer bringing from Europe, right? And there's no guarantee that you're going to stay up next year. Can you imagine if me spend big money on David Beckham, offer him big salary, him get injured unfortunately, and now my team is crap and we get relegated, and we have David Beckham from my books next year I play Division 2? That's hard.
No, but you say you're adopting, this league or implementing this league. I mean, this stuff happens throughout football all over the world where you have a high value transfer, you're still in a promotion relegation system, and you transfer, your high value transfer get injured and you just have to deal with it. So MLS owners just have to go suck it up. Don't put so much money in for lack of better
American owners don't understand the logistics behind that. American owners don't get the risk reward and how to manipulate it and how to navigate the waters and make sure that this investment is a sure investment. They don't get that. Look at Chelsea. That is telltale number one. I just going to come in and show a bag of money and expect to get my money back. No, you might not make the Champions League this year. So you, Todd Bowley, might go 2 years without recouping your Champions League money. But you just spend $1 gazillion. So you have to learn how to navigate the waters, how to build. This relegation thing introduces a different dynamic. You have to really build a system. So we know the league is going to stay at a certain standard once you have relegation. But we also know there have to be a cap on the money we're going to spend because I cannot run the risk of being Portsmouth. We saw what happened to Portsmouth. They did not recover from Julius Caesar contracts, that team contract. They actually became defunct because of that year.
Yeah, Bolton Wanderers is also another one, overspent. But the pyramid, and I think MLS was I am trying to recall, there was a court case regarding, someone took US Soccer to court. I can't remember the organization because US Soccer, and the reason the legal case was based on this, the FIFA charter says that a part of the responsibility is that you need to develop players, essentially develop the game, and promotion, relegation is seen a part of that developmental aspect. And the person, I'm forgetting the name, the organization that took US Soccer to court was saying that they're violating FIFA charter for not forcing MLS to do a promotion relegation. Now, clearly, I mean, and I don't remember how the case turned out, but clearly the MLS owners are quite bullish about their position on promotion relegation. They are not into it. It's been tough. Yeah, them don't want it.
but that's an easy window. It's not like you have 10 teams. It's obviously USL no one have nothing to do with MLS, obviously. Because if the USL conglomerate...
Because how do you, well, I guess you just do it said way. It's not like you have 10 teams. You have the league right now, what, 32 teams?
Yeah, if how can you have a Division 2 when you don't have enough teams for Division 2? You're gonna say, hey, we're going to cut from 32 to 24 teams and the 8 worst teams go play Division 2. Then we're going to tell you about your parts. Because remember, American sports is a conglomerate of ownership. It is not... It is not, I am the CEO of the league. No, all of these owners come together and say, we are going to work together. You, the CEO of the league, answer to us. We don't answer to you.
Yeah.
You're just a one voice represent the 32 of us.
We can't replace you anytime because for money.
Anytime.
Yeah.
So for you to have a relegation system, you have to have enough teams for Division 2. You have to have enough fans in the Division 2. You have to have the stadium. And it is a lot behind it. So it's hard for us to build relegation. It's hard to say, we're going to scrap the current MLS. We're going to restart it. We're going to restart it with less teams. I will put the bad teams down at Division 2. We'll scrap it out and come. The ultimate solution, USL. Cut out the pluckery. Come be Division 2. Your little Division 2 may not be Division 3. Give me your 2 best teams. You come up here to complete. And me give you my 2 worst teams, them come down as a complete. And come earn themselves.
You have to make it financially worth it for USL, right?
But that's the TV rights. That's the TV money. But again, though, and you know, they had it. Look, American sports. In American sports, look at how they build teams. Look at how they introduce teams. They go the expansion route, right? Yeah. It's not you have a little team and you build up enough clout to where now you can say, I have enough where we can buy into this league. No. We're not going to do that. We don't want no owner because I know what that really, if we really want to call a spade, what that stops the mob, it stops the cartels, it stops all of these organizations from having that. No, seriously.
Those are the views that Junior and not Balcha. No, we know that the mob, the cartel, and these bad organizations, ear quote, big up to the family over so, don't have teams in these other leagues. Like few Italian clubs are allegedly linked to
it. No, they were a part of it. They are a part of it. It's just all right. Look at NFL. You have no black owners. Why? It's a white boy league. It is a good old boy club.
Club.
It's the same thing with MLS. We have our club. We're not letting you in. So I will open the door and say, you know what? Instead of we doing an expansion team of voting fight, we're going to say, if you have a team that is profitable and you can prove to us that you have 10,000 fans, you have a stadium that is worth it, and you have a team that is worth it, we let you into the league. You open the door to some elements that you can't control. So that's how our American sports do it. And that is the reason why.
But here is the elephant in the room for me, and we will see how this thing plays out. Because USL is looking to form a rival league for MLS as their top division. Now, they're under the same sanction or authorization from US Soccer. Now, who gets to decide which team represents the American Soccer League in those CONCACAF tournaments? Because
but that's the steering contest. So MLS right now have it, right?
Yes, MLS exclusively has it. USL can't send a team unless them win the Lamar on Cup or whatever.
So this is capitalism. This is free market. This is capitalism. This is the American system. This is the American way. We now going put up and shut up. We building a rival to you. Let us see who is more profitable. I am banking on my homegrown teams. I am banking on my homegrown communities, and I am banking that the league itself is going to profit because we have a relegation system. Are we going to go up against you? Make we see.
Make we see how we go.
Who ESPN going show on TV if ESPN have relegation battle, New York Cosmos versus San Antonio Switchbacks or whoever, versus Philadelphia United versus Atlanta United in a one meaningless game. Let us see where. I know what, not even that. San Diego versus New York in a USL versus Columbus Crew versus, give me a small market team.
San Antonio FC.
San Antonio FC.
St. Austin. Or Austin FC in the MLS. Yes, small market.
ESPN now going to say, damn, New York and San Diego, East Coast, West Coast, high immigrants. They love football. This is a side that can go in a second division if they don't win. This is a bigger drop. Wait, hashtag USL promotion or hashtag USL relegation fight. 100 million people. Kanye West get knocked off of the top perch. USL relegation is now trending on Twitter. ESPN are gonna say, Jano MLS. You might have to take a back seat in one game, you know. And then USL are gonna say, got you. ESPN, come, we're gonna renegotiate this. You can show me game, but look on that. I had 120 million people on the Milan report watching this game. That equivalent to a MLS playoff game. Come, talk to me now. Come negotiate this. And that's what I'm changing.
Yeah.
So remember the same thing happened with ABA and NBA.
Yeah.
NBA did absorb a couple teams with a couple big name players. Remember Julius Irving.
Yeah, Julius. Yeah, man, the one and only man.
So you know what's going to happen now? All USL want is a big money transfer.
Yes, big money ballers. No, but also it's important that USL don't play football pan pluckery. Cut out them local lines, NFL and American football lines, because them think they are foolishness. I shouldn't be watching football and try to figure out the upper line pan the field. You know, so USL has to up their game. You know, in that space. But I'm ready to see it. I there's a lot of unknowns in it, and as soccer fans or football fans, look, bring it on. The Silverbacks run a corner from when? aka Atlanta Silverbacks are players that played in the USL. I don't even know if them still play ball. So these teams, they need the market space and need the ability, whereas Atlanta United come out and carve out a whole market share in the space because of the whole attraction.
But that is American sports model. Yeah. And that's why all expansion teams start hot. Every sport. Houston Texans started hot. Atlanta United started hot. They basically stack it for you to have a fast start. Yeah. And it's up to you now to maintain it. But it never worked. Look at it. It never worked.
Yeah. Now, Major League Soccer decided recently to conduct a study or authorize a study to really, and the study objective is to evaluate essentially aligning Major League Soccer schedule to the European schedule. So the transfer markets will line up. Of course, currently now MLS goes into MLS wraps up in October, December, late October or November there, them time there. So it's not really aligned with the European schedule. And so they want to align with the European schedule. They don't like competing with American football and some of these more high-end American sports. So, Junior, your thoughts on that, family? I mean...
Just don't have games on Sunday. Just keep the games midweek. If you want to that. And I don't think hockey cares. right? Hockey have them games during Major League Baseball season, during NBA season. I don't see hockey carve out its niche. Football, or aka soccer, should be able to carve its own niche out in America now with the current administration and with the anti-foreign sentiment. That is going to hurt MLS. That is going to hurt football. So,
But the problem with that, though, Junior, is that, and sorry, continue your point.
no, but as I say, that's up in the air now.
So what about these clubs, all right, that play in bad weather conditions, like snow upon the ground conditions, like Vancouver, Montreal? Because them say, hear them, the overview of what they're exploring. Major League Soccer is exploring the possibility of aligning its season schedule with the European soccer calendar, potentially starting in 2027. This shift would involve moving the MLS season from a spring to fall structure to an August to May format, similar to many European leagues. So August to May format. So now a man who they are Montreal now, how you play? So how does Montreal?
You have games that play in Siberia in Champions League. Them start them 2 hours early. If you have to do that, or Bill has put a roof over the stadium.
And I think the proposal is so they're saying that in the proposal they're looking to kind of take a long break for winter. So they break when the bad weather start, and then them start back up when the good weather returns. Good weather not really reach back to Canada them time there in February.
Yeah, the February is when it's coldest.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Rather than do this, maybe them need to study promotion, relegation, and cut the foolishness.
For the promotion and relegation, get some stadiums with covering.
Yeah.
Get some cover for the stadiums. Let's put roof over the stadium. It's about time. In 2025, we shouldn't have open air stadiums in harsh weather conditions.
But remember, all right, you put stadium in a all right, you put roof on the stadium, etc. But people still have to get to the games. I mean,
Do it just like Detroit.
Who are going to brave those bad conditions to go what? Soccer.
Do it like is it Detroit or Minnesota? One of them, is it Detroit or Minnesota? One of them, maybe it's Minnesota. In Minnesota, fans can go to the Minnesota NFL stadium and they don't see open air.
Okay.
They can travel from way out of Woy, walk straight into the stadium, and it's covered 100%. I'm pretty sure it's in Minnesota. I want to say it's either Detroit or I'm pretty sure it's in Minnesota. So in that dome, in there at Astrodome, whatever, not Astrodome, I can't remember what they call it.
Okay.
No, but it is 100% covered.
Okay.
No, this is with NFL money. So
you're going to need some serious investment.
But in 2025, we shouldn't have to. This isn't the Stone Age. We shouldn't have to be worried about covering the field. Just build a stadium with covering. BM says when Junior mentioned hockey, I remember what the great Chamarang said. Jamaicans don't play hockey. We eat hockey.
According to Bean Sports is saying that the major obstacle remains the harsh winter weather in cities like Chicago, Toronto, and Montreal, where matches in December, January, or February will be nearly impossible without heated infrastructure or indoor stadiums. For this reason, MLS has historically opted for a calendar that avoids the coldest months. Still, the current structure has created misalignment with global transfer windows and international competitions, including the CONCACAF Champions Cup and Leagues Cup, putting MLS clubs at a disadvantage. So basically, the money I say right now is that because of the misalignment of the calendar, the MLS schedule, is that they're at a disadvantage when they play in the League Cups and the Champions Cup. Because what happened is that the Mexican teams, usually them man they already are play ball when the League Cup and the competition start. MLS man them not play the ball when them think they attack, you know?
But then I have a fix for you.
Yeah.
I have a fix for you. During the cold months, that's when you play MLS Cup. And you let MLS Cup be a cup hosted at a neutral sites. 2, 3, 4 neutral sites all over America. California, Atlanta,
South Beach, Miami,
Texas, Las Vegas. You have all of these, Louisiana. You have all of these regions in the south of the Mississippi or basically whatever the hell they want to call it. You have all these regions in the south. You can have a 2-month tournament, which is your MLS Cup. And then you continue the MLS season after that. And do it just like the NBA. Remember the NBA Cup, those games count towards the regular season as well, you know. So you can still have the MLS Cup, have them in neutral sites, and still have those games counting towards the regular season and keeping those during the real cold months. I'm talking January, February. That the MLS Cup months. It's problem solved.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to take a heavy lift still because it seems like the formation of the league, because in one hand, I think it was deliberately crafted to avoid clashing with these other leagues.
But NFL is always the big boy.
Yeah, so but here you create another problem now. You put your clubs at a disadvantage. So.
No, but MLS at the time saw themselves as little brother.
Okay.
I think ownerships at the time I just accepted that they weren't going to compete with NFL. Now that they have some strength, now that you have foreign money coming in, now that you have can remember, you know, back then you never have billionaire footballers. Now you have billionaire footballers that are now retiring and is looking to invest money. And a lot of, regardless of what going on now, America is still a place for a lot of people to want to come and live. So David Beckham.
No.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So David Beckham.
One time.
I leave the politics out of it. Cristiano Ronaldo, if he wanted to build a team, even though Cristiano Ronaldo can't come back to America right now, but Messi might invest in our team.
Yeah.
So, and Messi couldn't care any less about NFL. Messi fans couldn't care any less about NFL. So now MLS is now looking at this as an opportunity where we can legitimately compete with these teams, with these big leagues. Because remember, MLS don't want to compete with NFL, but you rather compete with people vacation time. That's why you don't have sports leagues in the summer. You know?
Yeah, nobody now watch them. But we watch baseball. Because going to watch baseball is like watching cricket. You just enjoy yourself.
Baseball starts. Baseball starts in early spring. And drive through summer. But baseball is an event. So families go to the games and make it an all-day event.
Yeah.
It's a different thing. You don't have all-day events for MLS or NFL. That's a do or die.
Yeah, I mean, so we have to watch the space. The league also hinted at possible adjustments to its regular season and playoff formats, though they didn't specify. No specific changes were detailed.
They try to compete with the real big boys, though.
Yeah, I'm trying, but bigger than, I think, equally one major criticism of the MLS is this Apple Pay or Apple Pass or MLS Pass. So Apple owns the right, has the TV rights for MLS. So most of MLS games, no, you have to have an Apple subscription. You will get a one game here and there on local TV, but it's not back in the day when you can watch most of, if not all, Atlanta United games in your local market. In order to watch all Atlanta United games, you need to have an Apple subscription, Apple TV or whatever them call it, Apple Pass or MLS Pass on Apple device. And that is foolishness. Coming on paying $99 for watch MLS. No, sir. Me not doing that.
But that is Apple's problem. MLS don't care. MLS sell the rights to Apple. Apple put in the money and give me enough money for MLS. I don't care what you want to do with it. You have to go use that to your advantage. Me no business.
But MLS would care about that, because if your product is not getting viewership, then how your product is gonna grow?
And get them money already. So
See,
me get
this
my
is why
money.
USL are gonna pass it, because they don't really care about growing the league. They care about their money.
This is why USL see the opportunity.
Yeah, if you pass them on.
Right, because MLS get the money. The MLS their plan is get marketing dollars up front, and then we'll parlay that and flip it. Somehow, however them decide to flip it.
Like all these games, all right. Columbus versus Inter Miami, Real Salt Lake versus Toronto, Houston. I mean, back in the day, I would have sit down and watch them games there, but San Jose versus Sporting. Back in the day, as a football fan, any MLS game I say me can watch. Me can tell you about Chara over when name the Timbers or whatever. Or we can tell you about the Peruvian over Seattle. But no, you can't watch none of them football. So you've lost somebody who was committed to watching MLS. But the man say, well, you didn't spend the money anyway, so it's no big deal.
Let me tell you how far back I go with MLS. I can tell you about DC United with Echeverry.
Yeah. Then we never used to watch a local idiot side then.
But the thing is this. When I first came to the US, migrated to the US, I would never have cable TV. My mother struggled going to school. My father there in Jamaica tried to support me and what try to do a thing. In the summer, when Champions League finished, I remember them time the Champions League final was still on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
At 2:30. When Champions League done, Premier League done, all of the big leagues done, and summer hit. The only thing me have to watch is Univision, Mexican League, or MLS. And MLS was painful football. I couldn't watch it. So what we do? We go outside and go play some ball last summer.
I used to watch it. It's recently when I've kind of stepped back from watching it. It's merely because of this Apple Pass, but I used to watch the games. I used to know the ballers them across the globe, across the league, players them look forward to. But no, I don't follow. I mean, not Atlanta United. I follow as religiously as I used to.
Okay, painful for watch, and that is what USL. I think that's what USL figured out. USL now saying, oh. So MLS have lost its niche audience.
Yeah.
So now we're going to attack MLS this way.
And I think what also, because I started watching more USL because I could catch it on ESPN or ESPN Plus.
Right.
Because I already have an ESPN Plus subscription for La Liga. So Terry Magia play Colorado switchbacks. All right, me I take in the game. Yeah. I might look a bridging over Kevin Lambert down in New Mexico. Me I take in New Mexico. You see me I say, but
availability is the best.
Availability is the important thing. So we have to watch the space on this one, your family. Yo, ball chat halftime run long, Run long. But big up to the caller. We tied the record for the most callers received for ball chat. Most caller received for the ball chat. Most callers received. We're building family. So I hit that, hit that. Big up to the family, big up to the listeners. Make sure to subscribe. And we do it again Sunday.
Special guest will be forwarding this Sunday. Special guest will be forwarding this Sunday.
Yo, is another Manchester United fan we have to deal with?
I don't think so. But we'll see.
All right, see there. Special guest. Yo, like that, family.
Later.